You can help me with my computer. A technician will be with you in 4 hours.
You can upgrade for just $5,000. The Universal Serial Config board should be set to ID6.
I need that in plain English.
Call for help. This is Chris Perillo. What can I do for you?
Hey there, welcome to Call for Help. I'm Chris Perillo, and this is the show where we love sharing our knowledge of technology with the rest of the world. And on today's program, have you ever wondered what it takes to produce your own music CD? Well, if you're like David Bowie, and this guy right here, you probably have access to a huge recording suite, nice microphones, nice little knobs and dials, top-of-the-line equipment, and of course, a professional engineer. Must be nice. Don't despair. You don't have to be a superstar to make your own CDs. We've got a music industry insider here to show us what's involved in releasing your own music. Welcome back to Call for Help. Have you ever wondered how a CD becomes, well, a CD? Whether you're a musician or you're just a music lover, it's a fascinating process. And here to step us through how it works is Keith Hatschek, author of How to Get a Job in the Music and Recording Industry. Keith, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
I understand you're a professor at the University of the Pacific.
Right. I teach music management out at Pacific in Stockton, which is about an hour east of San Francisco, and we prepare our students for careers in the business and management aspects of the entertainment industry.
And you believe that computers are making it easier for artists to actually record CDs?
It's been a total revolution in the last 5 to 6 years, Chris. Similar to what happened to maybe 10 or 12 years earlier with word processing in business, the same kind of revolution has happened over the last few years in music, to where artists and musicians can record and produce their own music at home using a computer and a variety of different software and hardware tools.
Okay, so the first step in the process of recording a track is?
Basically, once you've got your song rehearsed and ready to go, get your computer recording system up and ready to record, hit the, quote, red button, as it were, even though it's a mouse when you're using a computer, and with a microphone and an interface, start putting the tracks down right on your PC.
What are we looking at there?
Right here, we're looking at a studio where they're working on a computer. It looks like it's a Pro Tools environment, and they're looking at different waveforms. Each one of those colored tracks is an instrument, a different part, a guitar, a bass, a drum, a vocal track.
And they could do this, you could use Pro Tools in your home.
Absolutely, yeah, no, there's a variety of different Pro Tools systems. There's an entry-level, very inexpensive system, and there's the full-blown Pro system. More than 10,000 studios and engineers all around the world use Pro Tools and systems like it.
Well, if people could record at home, why did they choose to go into the recording studio then?
Great question, Chris. The main reason they go is to have the expertise of a professional engineer, just helping them to fine-tune their performances and their sound. More and more musicians are doing some of the recording at home and then working with a professional studio to fine-tune and finish the project.
Okay, so after we've gone through that, then we're going to need to mix the audio.
Right.
What's involved there?
Well, mixing is the process where you're going to balance out the different instruments, the sound levels, as well as adjust some of the tonal characteristics, and you'll also be able to add special effects like reverb. Like, if you were doing an album, Chris, maybe we'd make it sound like you were singing in Carlsbad Caverns.
Really? Have you been?
Yeah, sure.
I've been too.
Yeah.
So we've got pieces of media here. Is this what's specifically used in the mixing process?
Right,
like
yeah, you'll mix down. This is an analog half-inch reel-to-reel. It's still favored by a lot of recording artists who want a fat, big rock and roll type sound. They'll mix down to this half-inch analog.
But you don't need this.
No, you don't. And if you're working in a home environment, you're not likely to have it. More likely would be to go to a CDR or a DAT. This is a DAT, a 4mm, very similar to what you use in a tape backup system. That can be used to record CD quality digital audio, or you can use just a plain CDR to record either Redbook audio, or in the case of the one you're holding up, those are Pro Tools files, actually saved. They're data files that are in Pro Tools format. You can take it to any studio and upload it, and boom, there's your mixes.
Okay, so after we're done with our mixes, then what?
Well, you're not quite done with the creative process yet, because the final step is called mastering. And this is where you'll take your CD, Chris, to a mastering engineer in a mastering studio, and he or she will fine-tune the overall sound quality of the entire album. They'll adjust how much silence comes between each song, and they'll fine-tune the nuances and tonal characteristics, so what you get back is a polished, professional-sounding CD, just like the ones you buy at Tower Records.
Oh, that's important to have something that sounds good. What about the scalability process? How is it duplicated, replicated?
Well, you've got to now get the copies out to, hopefully you've got screaming fans out there, but there's a couple ways to go. A lot of artists, I've looked into distributing online, but frankly, there's just not a lot being sold online yet. So most people still manufacture a CD. One option is to go to a CD plant, and that's where you'll get a 4-color cover made and a pretty slick-looking product that looks just like the stuff, again, you'll find out at record retail. So this is what a lot of people opt for, but you're going to need to order at least 500 to 1,000 copies, and it's going to run $3 to $4 per copy.
Okay, so what if you're not Mr. Moneybags?
If you're on a shoestring budget, again, using the computer as your home base, you've got the ability to take the CD that came out of your mastering session and using a home CD burner, just copy your own CDs and use some simple graphics. I know the Adaptec software program gives you a lot of options as far as designing your own cover. These are a couple samples of homegrown projects, and the beauty of that, Chris, is you can make 5 or 10 at a time to sell on your gig as you need them.
All right. Now, you spoke briefly about distributing online. What are the options available for an artist?
Well, it's still hard to beat the granddaddy of them all, and that's mp3.com. They've got millions of people tuning into the site every month looking for new music, independent music. Another great new option is called CD Baby, which if you've got your CDs made will help you market, promote, and distribute yourself online.
Oh, nice.
So there are more options.
Do you have any other tips?
Well, basically just that don't get so caught up in the technology that you forget about building a fan base, because again, the #1 mistake new bands or up-and-coming bands make is they don't spend quite enough time developing a following in their local area. So spend some of your time and energy on that, and you're sure to go far.
Wow, thank you, Keith. And I think the way IDD fixed, they've got a device that automatically fixes your tonal range with your voice.
Right.
I need one of those before I start recording. Thank you again, Keith, for coming on. And if you want to know more information, just swing by our website, techtv.com/call-for-help, to find all the stuff we talked about here today, as well as an extra tip on how to copyright your music. And don't forget to check out Keith's book, How to Get a Job in the Music and Recording Industry, available everywhere online and off.